Okay, well we should be recording, hopefully. Welcome to the VOD, if I ever actually get around to putting the VOD up. Hopefully there will be timestamps in the thingy what's it, maybe there won't be, I don't know. I haven't streamed in ages, kind of a derust here. With that said, I'd better hit the go live button so that people can actually hear me making excuses. I thought I already had tags set up, but I should probably just make sure that it's set up. If that's going to work. You know what, let's not worry about that. Oh good lord, there's a cookie notice in OBS. Ah! Why does OBS have a cookie notice? Why does OBS have a cookie notice? Okay, well the good news is the stream seems to be working, that's a good sign. So yeah, I'll give it a minute just to let people filter in. And then we'll get going, I suppose. So yeah, I am oh, I completely forgot about Discord pings. I haven't even set anything up. Ah! Oh no! Hang on. Am I going to be able to find it in my Twitch dashboard? What did I use for the Twitch pings? Oh god, oh god. I can't believe I forgot about it. There's always something, isn't there? Yes, hello to the 4 people who are here already, despite the fact that I haven't done a Discord ping because I forgot. Hey White Shark. There, that's a Discord ping. And I should do hardware bot as well. Right. Okay, good. God, it's been a long time since I've done this. I found a chair that doesn't squeak, but then I tried it and it's actually really uncomfortable. So we're still on the squeaky chair. We'll see how that does. But yeah, and also I had flu like a couple of weeks ago. So I've still got a tickle in my throat. I think the medical term is post-nasal drip. But yeah, so I might be coughing every so often. And you know, I really hate it when people have things that like make their videos or their streams like poor quality, and then they just like apologise for it as if that makes it like go away and makes the stream watchable. With that said, sorry about the chair squeaks and sorry about the occasional coughing, because that's just going to be it really. With that in mind, let's get started. Let's talk about what we're doing. So, hey, Super Sped, good to see you. So, yes, I have a Phenom 955 under there, and I have some RAM. That's actually Ballistix Elite 2133 CL11. And you know what? I should turn that off so that I can actually show you the RAM. That seems like a good thing to do at the start. I'm probably going to change RAM. I've done a little bit of pre-testing, but not a huge amount really. So I don't actually know if this RAM's any good for what I'm doing. It's interesting. I know it's interesting in general. Why are the LEDs still on? There we go. So it's this stuff. I have 4 sticks of that. It's a pain in the arse to find. But yeah, Rev.N chips. They're interesting. They do impressive settings, but they don't really scale with voltage. I thought it'd be fun to use them on FM2 Plus, and then I realised I don't have any T topology boards. So here we are. so far pre-testing, I've not had a huge amount of luck getting higher speeds out of it, but let's give that another go now. I don't think I've tried a lower memory multiplier actually, which it probably needs. So yeah, what else? CPU north bridge frequency, that's potentially an issue, isn't it? Should I just leave that as low as possible? In fact, let me stick with 265, but just do the lower CPU north bridge frequency. Just an HT link speed, that's going to be a thing as well, isn't it? Yeah, that's probably fine. Yeah, let's just confirm that those multipliers work, and then we'll shoot for the higher frequency. Is that? Yeah, looking good, looking good. Oh, well, okay. I think that's probably the capture card. Which is a bit worrying. So the stream might get ended by capture card issues at this rate, but we'll just have to cross our fingers and hope. Ooh, is that posted? That's posted, hasn't it? Yep. And I missed BIOS. Okay, well, good. It's not only posted, it has loaded Windows. That's an improvement. That's even better than posting. And we can confirm we've got our 275. So that's nice. Right. Anyway, I do need BIOS. So let's restart, and I'll just be a bit more aggressive about trying to get BIOS. Tappy tap tap tap. Come on. There we are. To be honest, 300 shouldn't be a problem. I'm going to regret saying that. I always regret saying things like that. Well, oh no, it's looking alright, looking alright. Yeah, I missed BIOS again. This BIOS looks shockingly modern. Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like AM3 Plus was a surprisingly long-lived socket, and you have like weirdly modern stuff going on with some of the board. It's yeah, it's a bit of a mindfuck. Well, since we're in OS, let's just confirm that we have our 300. We have our 300. I'm not going to run a benchmark because that would take like 10 minutes. Come on. Oh, good. But yeah, I mean, it's... I don't think... No, we don't have a pointer. But yeah, it... Visually, I mean, it is sort of UEFI. I think it's like... I know Gigabyte boards on the socket have a weird hybrid UEFI, but they look like an old BIOS. I'm not sure about ASUS. No, it must have UEFI, because I could swear the boot options... Well, not at the moment, but I'm pretty sure the boot options include UEFI stuff. Anyway, let's just try 330. It's a little bit aggressive on the memory speed, but it might work. And the OC recovery, touch wood, has been alright. In the little bit of pre-testing that I did. That's a good thing, because that's a 50 postcode, which means nope. So hopefully, kill power, wait until the LEDs go off, bring the power back. Hey Crispy. Thank you. Yeah, this is nice. It's good to be giving it a go again. We'll see how it goes, but yeah. So no 330 at these settings. I mean, at this point, are we being aggressive on the CPU speed? I don't think we are. There's our voltages. I mean, it's possible that there's something to be had from fiddling with those voltages. I think Northbridge HT voltage, maybe 1.8 voltage. There might be room with some of these. Let's just try 320 though. And I might actually run a benchmark at that if it works. Nope. No, that was too soon, wasn't it? Or was it? Yep. Wait until the LEDs go off and then bring it back. Is the prism actually mount compatible? Yes, it is. It just uses the clips. So the Wraith prism has exactly the same clips that an old cooler like that has. It's exactly the same mount. Okay, let's try 300 but drop the memory multiplier again. And I guess CPU Northbridge and HT link as well. Yeah. Make sure that it's happy with those ratios and then see if that gets us more base clock. Does seem to be happy with those ratios, is posting. Well, it's done the thing again, but whatever. Looks like 310 is posting as well. Okay, yep, 310 has posted, so update the... To be fair, I didn't try 320 before, so 320 is the real test. Still a no on 320, by the looks of it. It's still a postcode 50, okay. Wait for the LEDs. It is really nice to be working with a board that has good OC recovery. That is welcome. This is actually a lot easier to work with than AM4, funnily enough. Right. So this is the bit where we start fiddling with... I mean, yeah, there's no point dropping those any lower. They're already really low, aren't they? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is taking into account the yeah. So if I change the base clock, that changes. So this is the actual speed, not just the multiplier. They are really low. So, okay. What about voltages then? It can't... Presumably... Yeah, we're not trying to do very high CPU core speed, so that's probably not it. We could try more CPU Northbridge. I don't think that's going to be it either. Hey folks, only just started. Just feeling out the base clock really. So far, struggling with 320, which I thought would be relatively easy. But I haven't done it before on this board, so yeah, and that's not posting again. I think there's going to be voltages that help, hopefully. I don't know what the scaling is going to be like with them, but yeah, fingers crossed we get somewhere. Right now, I don't know if the memory that I'm using is actually any good or not. I'll probably have to swap the memory out, I suppose, if I don't get anywhere with voltages. It should be kind of interesting memory, but who knows right now. Okay, so that didn't help, so let's set that back to 1.2. And let's try, I think... I know with the right RAM on my MSI 870 chipset board, it was these voltages together that helped because they're linked on that board. I don't know if they're linked on this board, but I'm just going to raise them both and see what happens. I'm fairly confident that Northbridge 1.8 volt is involved somewhere as well. I think that might actually help, but one thing at a time. And 50. I'm going to try bumping up Northbridge 1.8 as well, and if that doesn't work, I'm changing RAM. There's no sense sort of messing around. I will be disappointed if this RAM turns out to not be good for AMD base clock. Although sort of vindicated as well, because I have a theory that it's made on the Elpida 25nm process. And Elpida has not been great for AMD base clock in my experience. 320 is low though. It should be able to do more than that, surely. I had hope for a minute, but nope, it's just sat on 50 again. Okay. One last thing I'll try more memory voltage. I don't expect it to help. In my experience, this memory does not scale with voltage, but I'll try it. Hey Paul, hey Alex. These are 2133C11 Ballistix Elite. But yes, single rank, but it's a T-top board. So, you know, 2 ranks per channel. It's 4 gigabit density, and it's not really getting me anywhere, sadly. Yeah, if this doesn't work as well, I'm definitely changing MEM. Nope. That assumes I can find some MEM to change to. That's not worked, has it? Okay. Well, camera. At least I can show you the RAM now. So yeah, 4 sticks of that. However, it's not working, so... Ow. Those fan headers are sharp. I really want to do something fun with this MEM. I'll probably have to like run it on Haswell or something at some point. But for now, What else have I got that might be better? Yeah, I'll give this stuff a spin. Why not? Ooh! You know what? Yeah, okay. JN. How hard do you think it'd be to run 4 times hypers for the Y Cruncher stage? I only have 3 sticks of hyper, so I can't help you there. I mean, well, technically it might be able to run in 6 gig, but I don't fancy it. Yeah. It's going to depend on your motherboard. It might be possible. Right, so this is 1600 CL8 D9JN. So it's not JN, it's KP. What am I on about? That's a 16FF there, that's KP. Rules are same CPU, all stages, different mem. I guess. Yeah, I hadn't given that any thought, but I suppose you are allowed to change mem. I don't see why you wouldn't be. Do not quote me on that though. Right. So what am I trying to run timing wise? I mean, that's all going to be fine, isn't it? Yeah, let's just try at those settings, why not? Because to be honest, if they don't work, then I'll be surprised if there's something else that does work with this mem. So I can just change to other mem right away. Looking good though. Yep, that's booting up, which is kind of disappointing, because it means that sadly this RAM is going to be not appearing in this stream from now on. That's unfortunate. I'm really hoping I get to like make full use of it, but nope. So let's pop that away somewhere. Let's just confirm that 320 did indeed post. This is not enough memory for Y Cruncher, but whatever. Yeah, 320. Right, well, onwards and upwards. Just knowing that the board can actually do it is a big part of this. Like, if the board can do, like, you know, 330, 370, like more, hopefully, that's important and useful. It's looking pretty good on 330. I think I've missed BIOS. I need to get one of those reboot into the BIOS scripts on this OS. That'd be convenient. But we have 330. I suppose I could actually try 4 sticks of D9KP. That might be interesting. It's a T-topology board, so it should like not hate it as much as it otherwise would. Trying a jump to 350. That's looking good actually. Let's see if I can hit BIOS as well. Yes! Haha! Okay, and that means that we're past the wall. We're past the sort of 330-ish wall that you often see. So... 370. Can you do 4 sticks of PSC? I mean, I could, but in my experience PSC is rubbish for base clock on AM3. So I don't want to. But yeah, in theory I could. Okay, we're getting a 50 now. So we're not getting 370 right away. It's not going to be that easy. BBSC, says Paul. No. I'm not doing BBSC. 2 gigabit BASC. Now that's a good suggestion. I don't think it'll work either, but it is tempting. And I do have 4 sticks of it that are single rank, and they're a good bin. Yeah, let's just try pushing the voltages up and see what happens for 370. It's sitting on C5, which is new. C7. I think that might be booting. It took a couple of goes though. Yeah, I think it's booting. I'm actually going to run... Oh, no? Okay. Right. We got... no, I'm not doing 512 megabit Kimonda. Because I'd like to have enough memory for the operating system to run. So we got an OC fail without even... I've forgotten how to speak. We got an OC fail without even having to kill power, which is interesting. I'm going to try more memory voltage. Oh, come on. There. Not letting me just enter 1.9 volts, honestly. I mean, it's fine to normally pro for board, but like, come on. So bouncing off C5 again. So is that going to give me another OC fail, or has that worked? Right. That's interesting. Okay, let's nudge the memory back down to 1.8. And I guess... I haven't tried 360 yet. Let's see if that works. C5. Is that just going to fail again? It's interesting that it's giving me C5 rather than 50, though. Well, it's gone to FF now. But it's interesting that that's a different kind of failure. I'm not sure what that means, but it's different. And that is just sitting on FF. Okay. D9GT. Yeah, D9GT is an option. Let's try 2 gigabit BASE. I think I have that to hand. So those are my 2 gigabit BASE sticks. They're 2,999 and they have the BASE type package, which I probably wouldn't be able to get to show up on camera. I actually have 6 of them, but I think one of them doesn't work. Also, it looks like there's some thermal paste or something in one of the memory slots, but it's been working fine, so hopefully it's below the pins. Now, I'm not necessarily expecting this to work, but it seems only fair to give it a go. Temperatures are also a possibility, I suppose, although I mean, I would not say that this stuff feels even warm. Ah! Oh, no, it is posting. Now, that won't have posted with the overclock though, will it? No. Let's back off to 350 because that's what worked on the other RAM. So that will tell us if this is any better or any worse. And that's a 50 code at 350. Alright. Let's try 330, see if it actually works at all. Ooh. I'm literally just like pulling random sticks out of off my shelves. I found that, which is a 16 FMR code. So it's got 2 gigabit revision M, which hopefully will be better than this stuff, because this stuff's giving me a 50 code even at 330. So that's a no for 2 gigabit BASE, I'm afraid. No luck there. So, yeah, sadly we don't get to make a load of jokes about the brand name for the German listeners. Right, let's give this stuff a go. The heat spreader feels really plasticky in my hand. Well, anyway. So this is 16 FMR code, it is Ballistix Tracer. I'm not sure what colour it is, but we'll find that out any minute. Hopefully. Be a bit weird if we didn't. Ooh, green. Right, let's start with 350, that shouldn't be a challenge. Why did I say that? I should not have said that. Me and my big mouth, eh? So that's a 50 code at 350. Let's try 330 as well. If 330 doesn't work on these sticks either, I'll be slightly suspicious. You gonna boot? It's on 99. Surely the capture card hasn't given up already. Power cycled and we've got 50 again, so I think when it goes into OC recovery, if you power cycle again without doing anything, then it just tries to load the overclock again. Right, come on. Behave thyself. Okay, yeah, okay, good. The capture card is fine, thank goodness. So that was a bit weird, don't know what was up with that, but it's fine. So can this RAM even do 330? It can. Okay, that's good, that's good. Well, it's comforting anyway. So I feel like this is the sanity check, right? Like, I know that it is behaving in a sort of predictable way. Because here, hopefully we have 330. Yeah, which wasn't, well, you know, and that wasn't posting on the Elpida sticks. But it didn't post 350. Hey, Razors. You'd pay unhealthy amounts for a triple channel blue tracer kit, would you? I think I might be able to arrange that, to be fair. Wait for the LEDs to go off. Come on. There we go. Yeah, let's give these a go. Camera. So I've got some Corsair Vengeance version 3.19. So it's some kind of Micron. Not sure what. It's probably either 2 gigabit M or K. And it's on the 6-layer brain power PCB, which is not known for being a great PCB. That's giving me a 50 code right away. $50 code that early, not a good sign. Okay, so that can't do 330. Good. Well, not good, but like, you know. Okay, we know that. That's information. and we can move on with our lives. Bye bye Corsair Vengeance. I'm not expecting this to be necessarily any good, but just because it's like what I have to hand. So this is 1 gigabit Samsung D die, single rank. I would not say I have high expectations, and it's single rank, which is not ideal. But let's give it a pop. You never know. It gives me something to run while I'm trying to find something else. There's some 2 gigabit Nanya I can try. Ah, 2 gigabit Rev.K, I can try those. Right. So what's the Samsung booted in at? If the Samsung is really good for base clock, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Okay, so 330 is working. It's not impossible that the higher speeds are actually a CPU limit, to be fair. I should probably explore that possibility. Anyway, 330 worked on the Samsung. Let's see if 350 works. Oh no, it's working. I was not expecting this to work. Why did I try this? I don't have, like... I don't have dual rank for these. Yep, that's 350. Great. That's cool. It's not really a huge amount of memory to have. Wait, what? Has it dropped the channel? Okay, it has dropped a channel. Right, that's interesting. Also probably a sign that it's not going to go a whole lot further. Garbage can, yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, there's a couple of people who will argue with you over whether this RAM's garbage, but yeah. I say a couple of people, one person. Well, it isn't single channel, but let's see if it can go higher. Nope, that's a 50 code. Okay. So no 360 from the Samsung. At least not without further tweaking. And right now, I mean, to be honest, what I kind of want to do right now is I want to swap the JN back in and try a lower CPU multiplier. And it's my stream, so I will do that. So we are popping this stuff back in. I keep calling it JN. It's KP, it's not JN. It's D9KP, it's Rev.F, not Rev.D. Anyway, if calling it JN makes it clock, then I'll call it JN. Okay, now that's booting, but it's booting because it's OC recovery, so that's cheating. Yeah. And we'll just confirm what it does when we try and do 360 with this stuff. C5. 04 FF. C5. Still C5. Very much stuck on C5. Right. So now let's try a lower CPU multi. And we'll see if that works. I need to get a standing desk for doing streams, that would be nice. And we're getting 99 again. Give it a couple more power cycles. Ooh, you're going to do SLI raises. Yeah, go for it. Meanwhile, I'm getting C5 again. I've got something that's potentially going to be interesting for SLI. A Super Micro Z490 board with a PC, a switch thingy. Now, I also sold all of my good power supplies already, which was probably a mistake to start with the power supplies. But we'll see. So we're going to try. Let's try a lower CPU ratio at 350, just to make sure it's happy with the ratio. Also going to turn on the fan on my desk. Hopefully that's not too loud. Yeah, with any luck that's not even noticeable. Ah, that's interesting. So now we have a 50 code at 350. Right. Curious. Is this something where the different CPU ratios affect how the memory behaves, perhaps? Let's try that ratio at 330. Yes, so that's posting. So the lower ratio works at 330. And I missed BIOS. Since we're in OS, let's confirm that it works. Also, I just noticed that all of the text is tiny on desktop now. That's interesting. I'm going to blame the capture card for that. Okay, well, we're at single channel, but yeah. So the super low ratio does work at 330. I really should have taken an image of the operating system before doing all of this, like, memory OC with it. That would have been smart. So does 8X work? No, 8X doesn't work at 350. Let's remind ourselves if 10X works. Crispy got to run to get the kids off. Great to see you back in the saddle. Thank you. Yeah, no idea if it's going to last, but I'm giving it a go, you know. We'll see. So does 10X work at 350? I'm sure it worked before. But does it work now? No. Ugh. I bet this is thermal. That's annoying. It's a warm day and I bet it's the temperatures. But okay. Well, for now, let's move on. And let's try this stuff. Oh, camera. So that's 2 gigabit revision K. Warm boot bug. Yeah, maybe. I mean, just being warmer. So I'm going to push the fan speed up and try 350. This might be really loud, but I mean, yell at me if it's super bad. Oh well, that's just giving me a 50 code anyway. Okay. Well, straightforward. Okay, so back to the camera. So let's try this stuff. Version 8.15. So it's some kind of 2 gigabit Nanya. And there's the fan speed. And we have 4 gig detected, so it's running in single channel at the moment, I think. Yeah, let's just see if 350 works. I might be a bit loud, to be honest. I might have to turn it down. I don't know. Let me know what you think. There's 50 code as well. Right. The question is, where did I put all of my 1 gigabit Nanya? Because I definitely have 1 gigabit Nanya. Well, one thing at a time. Let's give this a go. Should also be D9KP. And while that's trying to post, which it should post straight away to be fair, but while that's running I'll try and find the Nanya. Now I've got some somewhere, and it should work well for base clock on AMD. It's just a question of where I left it. Wait, what? Oh, ASUS, don't be like that. How much is it reset? It's okay. It's reset the memory voltage. Reset memory. Has it reset? I don't think it's reset memory timings. Reset memory frequency, and it's reset CPU multiplier as well. Okay, I think that's where we were. Let's try that. I found some Nanya. C7. Interesting. That's new. I may not have given that long enough to recover properly. $10? Okay. And now we get fan speed. You know what? It's a bit much, isn't it? I'll set it to turbo, but not, you know, just full on. Let's try 330 as a sanity check on the Dominators. It sounds like it's working. I suppose that's the advantage of having a fan speed set, because the way that this board handles fan speed, the fan spins up after posting, so I can hear that it's posted. So 330 works, which means that this, oh, it even works in dual channel. That means that the settings are not total trash. however. What IC are we on now? D9KP, Alex. But this one's D9KP on green dominators, as you do. Version 3.5. Come on. There we go. So yes, that's what we were on. But we are swapping even that out. Because to be honest, I'm sick of not getting anywhere, so I'm going to swap to the thing that I expect to work well. How did the 2 gigabit BASC do? Not well enough. But yes, so this stuff, as well as looking sick, is 1 gigabit Nanya C. Stuff with the same heatsink is also available with 1 gigabit Nanya A, which is crap. So it's the letters there where it's HC9N. I think the stuff with revision A is HA9N. Anyway, yeah, I have tried revision A. I could get nothing out of it. It didn't do good timings, it didn't scale, it's just not worth touching. But this is revision C, which should be pretty good, hopefully. What's the most successful IC so far? The most successful was also D9KP, but it was on these sticks. Although actually, 1 gigabit Samsung D-Die did pretty well on this aXeRam as well. That's single rank. It didn't do well enough. That was interesting because it means Samsung has a hope. Okay, so the Nanya has booted in. I think we're just at 330, which is pretty easy. Yep. Have you tried G.Die? Not yet. Definitely an option. I'm hoping for a sprinkling of that Nanya magic. Come on, give us 350. It's giving us 350. That's our 350 posted. So that's matched the best IC so far. Now, will it give us more? Will it give us 370? Oh, yes, it will. Look at that. I'm going to let that go into OS. Least of all because I want to see if it's actually giving us dual channel. That's not a good sign. Hey Exa, well, we just posted 370 base clock. And it's frozen loading the OS, but I'm counting that, that counts. So I think knowing Nanya, more voltage should help, more VDIM. Alex says Matt did say that Nanya was good for AM3 base clock. I bet he did. You know who told him that? I mean, to be fair, it's as much from his own testing as anything else. I've helped him with identifying the ICs. But he's got some 4 gigabit sticks that he's had really good results with. Right, let's try 1.8. My inclination is to take this as high as it goes and then like, oh really? Oh come on, don't be like that. As I was going to say, like, take this as high as it goes and then like run some benchmarks. In the past, I've had base clock scale with memory voltage on Nanya. That was on a different board though. So I don't know if this one's going to be the same. I think that was a C5. I think we're going to get another OC recovery here. Do you have a Crosshair 5 formula that you can try? Nope, sold it to BuildZoid as it happens. That was a while ago. He was complaining about not having a decent AM3 Plus board. I've got a UD7 I could try. I've got two UD7s and one of them works. Well, they both work, but one of them can base clock properly and the other one can't. I'm really reluctant to give up the speeds that like posted once. I'm just going to throw more voltage at almost everything. You know what, everything. Why not? Well, yeah, screw it. Southbridge as well. Why not? Southbridge heatsink isn't warm, so... Come on. Give me my 370. You can't just post 370 once and then never again. That's not fair. I think the response there from the system is I can and I will. Because, yeah, C5. One of the most useful things when overclocking is a power strip. Makes it really easy to power cycle it and you're not wearing the power supply switches out. Okay. Well, I'm not angry, but I am disappointed. Let's try 365. This is actually pretty poor, though. I would actually have expected better with the Nanya. Makes me want to change board. I think 365 is going. I feel kind of... It doesn't feel right claiming 370 when it only worked once. So let's revise that down to 365. Oh, come on. Is it not even booting 365? Oh, hey, Matt. You know that motherboard? Yeah. Yeah, mine has a warmer Southbridge than yours. This is not going well, though. It posted 370 once and is not deigning to do it again. I didn't want to put the stream off for another day, so I haven't, like... the prep that I've done does not include queuing up other motherboards to switch to. Did you loosen row refresh cycle time? Has that helped for you? It's expressed in nanoseconds, isn't it? It should be like, it should be doing that on its own. Have you found this? It actually needs to be set like extra loose. It actually did? I mean, to be honest, right now, just posting would be nice. You know what? I'm actually going to change the PB back to 350 just because this is not going well. Razors says, same as my Sabertooth, got a 360, then just went downhill and found memory was being a twat. Though, since I'm doing GPU testing, I might give some overclocking in the background a go. Yeah, I can only assume it's thermal or something, but it just working once and then never again. Maybe I should switch to Geil. Like, if it's not going to give me OC recovery, I might as well spend the time switching out the RAM, because it's more likely to recover if I've switched the RAM. That's my logic here. So, where did I leave my Geil? There's a question. Oh, that looks promising. Hang on. We've got a great big tray of something. Yep, that's Geil, right. One, two, three, and the fourth stick I will show to the camera briefly before I install it. Matt says, did you try good old Nanya? Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's the thing that was not booting. It gave me 370 once and never again. I think I have some 4 gigabit Nanya somewhere. I could give that a go. Right. So I'm getting a 50 code with the Geil, which I'm guessing means it's trying to boot the overclock and it's not working. It's possible the timings are too loose or something, to be fair. Alex says, what about 1 gigabit BFSE? No. Well, the Geil's not posting either, just at all. Fuck's sake. Aha! Finally, good. Right. So, will it do 350? Matt says I got my best base clock with D9 GTs, that makes sense, and some odd high density PSC, that doesn't, but okay. Oh, let's keep that in mind. D9 GT is probably a good option on T topology. I've got loads of single rank sticks, I could try that. Looks like G.Die is not a fan of 350. You know, I wish motherboards had an option where, like, because sometimes they will just like reset a bunch of stuff for you, and I get it because it's like maybe a user's like just doesn't know what they're doing and they're trying to make it work. But I wish they had an option that was like, no, don't do that. Let me struggle. Or maybe like a pop-up that's like, hey, do you want us to just like, you know, optimize your settings for you? Okay, let's try 330 on the G.Die. Not even 330. Was 300 going to work? Just as a sanity thing. But I think this is not a good sign for G.Die. I need a bottle of water. I'm going to go grab a bottle of water out the fridge while that tries to post. I prepped for the stream by putting a bottle of water in the fridge. I just forgot to get it out. But yes. Right. So let's try 300. Once the BIOS screen comes up. Which it should have done by now. This is concerning. Razor says at 350 I had to put the memory strap HC and Northbridge all the way down to get a boot. At 320 I could crank the hell out of them. Yeah, there's people doing over 400 and I genuinely I don't understand how. Is that just 50ing? That is just 50ing. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Because it does feel like there's a real wall where it's like suddenly you get to a certain point with base clock and everything hates you. I mean, at this point, it's like, I don't know if this is the RAM or if this is the board. I'm trying to remember where I left my... oh, right, yeah, okay. Where I left my D9 GT, I was going to say, but I think I know where it is. I think. It's just stuck on 99 again. Okay, well, screw it. Right. G-Die obviously not working. It doesn't really feel warm. Should be alright. Matt says I would avoid D-Die as well. Didn't have any luck with it. I do believe you, but I'm also going to give it a go because it's to hand. It does match the board. But yeah, I mean, if G-Die doesn't work, realistically, D-Die isn't gonna. 1 gigabit D-Die had some weird luck. What's it doing? Okay, well something's posted, but I think that might just be the 300. Razor's saying Ali Bello was going down to identical kits but having months apart in manufacturing. Oh wow. Yeah, I mean it. I'm not expecting to like win this competition. It's just giving it a go, really. You know, have a play with it, see where I get. But yeah, it's crazy that even just like binning variants would. Oh wow, okay, that's 330, right? And it's dual channel. Alex said, what about 1 gigabit D-Die? 1 gigabit D-Die, I tried my Transcend aXeRam sticks. Hello, GameFoo21. But yeah, the 1 gigabit, it did actually work. It went okay, but like not that far. 2 gigabit D-Die just posted 350. It might be a PCB thing or something, maybe, or binning variants. I'm actually going to give this a bit of a go. I'm going to see how far I can take it, because the sticks are a nice colour and they match the motherboard. That said, it's dropped a channel, which is not a good sign. Come on. The frustrating thing is, it feels like I should be able to get a slightly higher memory strap at this point, but that's probably a no. I mean, at 1400, I would expect that ought to work, right? And we're at 1.8 volts already. I don't know why, I just something in my bones is telling me like have the mem less loose. I'm going to regret it, but yeah. Matt's saying, I don't know if that's accurate. My system drops channel with higher base clock, but it didn't impact score. That's weird. I don't know what's up with that. Alex, is this 2666 CL11? No, it's 2400 CL9. I'll show the SPD in a sec. So 350, still in single channel. 2400 CL9. You know what? I'm at full CPU clocks, aren't I? Or am I? I am. Will it even run Y-Crunch, or is it... No, I only have 4 gig of RAM, so I don't think it will run Y-Cruncher. So I think it has genuinely dropped the channel. Yeah, okay, let's kill that for now and try something else. I might regret that because I tightened the timings, and now I might try something else that needs looser timings, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Oh right, yeah. I was going to try TRFC. It's Samsung, it should do really tight TRFC. But I can give it a go, see what happens. Be kind of... I would be less surprised if it fails to post. To be fair, it has posted, but that would surprise me less than it actually helping. But I'm willing to give it a chance. Single channel. Right, okay. That has not helped. Right, this might be interesting. I have some, I think they're 8 gig HyperX Beast sticks with Nanya on them. Now when I've tested these before, they are an absolute inferno. So I'm going to have to double check what's going on with my timings as well. But cooling could be an issue. But we'll give these a go, because I know that Matt's had good results with 4 gigabit Nanya, and it's also enough memory to run Y-Cruncher, which is always nice. Hello, should I just call you Moy? I don't know what you'd prefer to go by. Hello, guy with the cat profile picture. That doesn't narrow it down necessarily, does it? Okay, so we're getting 50, which is just not posting, but that's probably because it's got other like RFC set and stuff. Matt says even if you drop a channel, it's enough memory. 4 gig is not enough for Y-Cruncher 1B. It's not enough with like 4 gigabyte per stick. with higher capacity you might be able to get away with dropping the channel. Oh, this just isn't looking happy at all. 66. And now we're back to 50. If I can't even reach OC recovery, it's not a good sign. Matt says, they're single rank sticks then. So the sticks that I was using just now are dual rank 2 gigabit density. And now I've moved on to these are dual rank 4 gigabit, so they are 8 gig a stick. Aha. There's our OC fail screen. Good. So these have more of a hope. Right, let's loosen that out. Set that back to auto. And just see if 300 posts as a sanity check. But yeah, so these will run Y-Crunch on single channel. That said, 300 isn't posting, so okay. Well, that's not ideal, is it? Well, screw that. Moving on. What else haven't I tried yet? I haven't tried single rank Hynix MFR. I haven't tried 2 gigabit CFR. Ooh. You know what else I've not tried yet? I've not tried 4 gigabit eDi. I'll give that a go. Because you never know. I think this is the same 20 nanometer Samsung process as BDI DDR4 is, and eDi 4 gigabit DDR4. It's just the DDR3 version. Funnily enough, it will also do 3000 flat 15 1.35 volts, which is the same kind of overclock you would expect to see out of or as an XMP for the DDR4 eDi, which is kind of funny. I like that. Well, let's see if 300 works. Matt says if it makes you feel better, this is exactly how it went for me. Well, it's nice to know I'm not doing something catastrophically wrong, other than missing the BIOS. I think I've missed BIOS. Yeah, pretty confident I've missed BIOS. But you know, ideally I would like things to go better than this, but you never know. Right. Come on. Yeah. Well, 300 is booted. That's good. That's a start. Let's not miss the BIOS this time, and let's try more. But yeah, I mean, I think this is about to be expected. I mean, it makes it quite an interesting competition, to be fair. I definitely, like, I don't think I'm going to revisit it like this, but I think I might revisit it, like, with Semprons or something. You know, stuff that needs to be base clocked just because it's locked. What was I going to do? I was going to try... Let's just jump up to 350. That's where we're trying to be anyway. It either does 350 or we don't use it. And that's a 50 code. Womp womp. Right, CFR next, I think. Well, actually, you know what? Just for funsies, version 3.24 with bright lime green heat sinks, which should add about 20 megahertz. GameFood21 says 4 gigabit Hynix for the win. Yeah, I might try that. I don't have any dual rank. I had a dual rank MFR kit, but it was 2666, so I sold it for lots of money. Let's just try 350 on these right away. Alice says, gotta go, have fun and good luck finding the right sticks. Thank you, yes. I'll need it. It seems these are not the right sticks. But that's okay, we move on. Yeah, you know what? Let's do the 4 gigabit Hynix thing next. Those are MFR, they're Mushkin radioactives. 2666 CL12, I think, which is a bit loose even for MFR. I say even for MFR. MFR is not loose, thank you very much, but you know, give those a go. Okay, we've got the OC fail screen. I'm just going to save and reset at 350 again and just see what it does. If that doesn't work, I've got some CFR here, 2 gigabit. Yep, that's not worked. That's 50 again. Wasn't really expecting it to work. Matt says, I would believe Mushkin would do something oddly impressive just because Mushkin. I have a load of Mushkin PSC I could try at some point. That might be interesting. 4 sticks of that maybe. Okay. Well, shit. The CFR's working? Okay, let's not get too excited just yet. There might be something weird going on here, but it looks like it's posting. Has it actually posted 350? Yes, the CFR's posted 350. It's posted 350 in single channel. Okay though, that's interesting. Why is TRC and command rate so tight? That's weird. Let's fiddle with that. See you later, Matt. It doesn't feel right having row cycle time tighter than TRAS. It's probably fine, it just doesn't feel right. Oh, I had it forced to 1T. That's probably not been helping any of this. I've just been trying to run 1T the entire time. 4 sticks, then you have enough in single channel. It's tempting. I could just run it in single channel anyway. It's like, yeah, you want to drop a channel on me? Why not? Well, fiddling with the timings has not helped. Okay. I'm going to try a bit higher clock anyway, just to kind of see what happens with the CFR. Because it's weirdly promising. And failing that, I've got some more Ballistix that I'll try. It's more 4 gigabit revision N, but it's on low bin Ballistix Sport, so I'm not expecting much, but give it a punt. So that's no 360 on the CFR, which is not that surprising given it was already dropping a channel. It has been sort of okay. I'm going to leave that out somewhere. My desk is getting a bit crowded now. Should probably put the G die away. So let's pop this 4 gigabit N in. And see how that does. While we do that, I'll gather up my G die. Right, that's that back in the giant tray of G-die. Maybe retry with 2T. Yeah, it's an option. Let's try 350 on the Ballistix Sports with revision N, see if that works. Am I optimistic? No. I'm neither optimistic as a person nor about this particular endeavour. But sure enough, being pessimistic is also realistic because that's not worked. Wasn't really expecting it to work, so that's fine. It is a lot of Samsung. That's not even all of it. What do we try now? I could go through other D-die. I want to try other Ballistics. I feel like Ballistics are probably going to be the best bet. It just hasn't worked out yet. It seems like it should be the thing that works. Because it's what I've had good results with in the past. That said, something else to try. I have some Clev MFR, and that's on like an 8-layer fancy PCB. So you never know, maybe the fancy PCB helps. Okay, let's try 350 on the clev. Nope. No 350 on the clev. Okay. I suppose technically I could try 4 sticks of it. Given that it's a T topology motherboard, but what I'll try first is camera, more Ballistix Elite. These ones are 16 FMR, 1866 CL9 rated. So we'll see how those go. If I can ever get this clamshell open. Here we go, here we go. It's going. That's fully seated, isn't it? Yeah. Razer's got a mystery A data kit, 2x8GB, but likes AMD. Needs some cooling. Yeah, if it's A data, I probably won't have been able to work out what it is because there's not. Sometimes they have identifying marks, but not normally. Well, let's see if this Ballistix does 350. Because I kind of like to move on to running some benchmarks. But I'd much rather move on to running some benchmarks and have 350, like 370 or so working. Oh, that's posting 350. Good. Now, has it posted in dual channel? It has! Ho, 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 ho. Okay, that's a good sign. That means we have headroom. I'm going to try for 360 first. I don't want to jump straight to 370 because it's bad GBs. Of course 360 doesn't work either. Great. I'm honestly, I think I'm just gonna stick with this stuff anyway. If 350 works, I mean, actually, if 350 works, it should maybe be able to do 1866 perhaps. Yeah, my settings aren't unreasonable for that. C5. We're going to get an OC recovery here, I think. Yeah, alright. So what should my target be in Y Cruncher? I'm just going to have a quick search of hardware bot. Y Cruncher 1B, socket AM3, and that's going to give me a load of 6 cores. Yeah, I'm not really sure what I should be targeting here, to be honest. Seven minutes? Is that over optimistic? What have people done in Matt's competition? Okay, well I'd at least like to beat Yoz. Yoz did 12 minutes. I must be able to beat that. What's my... Hang on, let me just double check it booted in dual channel. It did. Good, good. Right, what's my PB already? Because I did a couple of pre-tests. Um, 700 seconds. So... that 700 seconds is what, 11 minutes 40? $175. Okay. Well, let's give that a go. It's a pity all of the benches are so long, but it does have an advantage. And that advantage is that I have a good excuse to go BRB. Because I can just do that while this runs. All I need to do is actually get the text added. And I will be back in, I'm going to say at least 3 minutes, and then I have an excuse to run an ad break as well, and we can all go and get a coffee or something. So yes, see you soon. Hello, welcome back. How are we doing? Well, Y-Cruncher looks like it's still running. That's always a good sign. Razor says, time to break my back in 6 places, lifting this massive case out and seeing if I can test some SLI on the bench. Well, good luck with the SLI and don't hurt yourself with the case. Hopefully it'll be alright. Oh, 72%. I'm optimistic about this run. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Is there any other RAM I should be trying? I mean, I might as well, while Y-Cruncher's running, I might as well have a look for RAM. So there's this stuff, which I think is actually a dual rank 1 gigabit D-die. That might be alright. 1600 777 rated. And then there's those. They're 1 gig a stick. They say 2 gigabyte on them because that's 2 sticks as a kit. Those are D9JN. I have like 6 of them. They might be alright. Could run 4 sticks of that, I suppose. Got 2 sticks of that. That's more 1 gigabit D-die. I have more D-die than I'd remembered. I don't think it's actually going to be any better though, and it's not going to be enough capacity for Y-Cruncher. Well, maybe if I fill all the slots with it, but sadly, I only have 2 sticks of this stuff. OCZ Flex D9JN 1600 666 bin. Normally that's a hyper bin, although the hypers are at lower voltage. Oh, nearly done. How are we looking? 516 seconds for Pi itself. That's a good sign. Oh. And we have a score. 558. I really should have written down my target and PB in seconds. So I think 10 minutes was 600 seconds, so we have actually blown past that. What's that? 558.254 seconds. Well, that's good. Let's save that. I need a motherboard tab as well, don't I? Well, I'm pretty happy with that score, but where would that sit us in the competition? 558. That would put us 15th in that stage. That's not great. Okay, I'm gonna take one sweep at optimizing the memory. I'm gonna have to basically guess. Like, I'm gonna have to set a whole load of stuff at once, because I don't want to, like, I don't want to be running Y Cruncher over and over when it's like 10 minutes a pop, or, well, it's less than 10 minutes now, but like 9 minutes a pop. I suppose I could like run a whole load of ad breaks and then I might make about 20 pence. Probably wouldn't even cover the electricity used to run the stream, to be honest. Should I quantify that? That's probably a bad idea. I don't want to know. What are we at? So these sticks are rated for like 1866,999. We're at 1400, so we should easily be able to do 777. That should be no problem at all. Set row cycle time back to auto, because auto is probably going to be tighter than what I was forcing it to. We'll try 1T command rate. CPU North Bridge, that should be able to go way higher than we are. I'm thinking 2450. So let's see if that works. Hopefully it'll either pass or not post. It's posted, so hopefully that means it will pass. Fingers crossed. So how is everyone anyway, while we strap in for another 9 minutes of Y Cruncher? Have people been following Computex? I mean, I'll be honest, I've not followed it that closely. I saw something about a new Noctua cooler. There's always new Noctua coolers though. It's whether they actually come out, that's the trick. Razors is repasting the 8800 GTs with MX2 rather than cheap crap. Nice. Running in the new one while I see how the other one is. Cool. Good luck. Hopefully you get them running well. You know what? I'm going to see if I'm not going to have a game, but let's see about. I'm going to duplicate that scene, and rather than have the game, what if? Can I capture Firefox? Fox is watching from plain Wi-Fi. Wow, that's some pretty strong plain Wi-Fi to handle a stream. New D15 seems strong. That's cool. Why is this a weird size? Okay. What if... Hang on. And let's rename that scene to screen 2 because it's just capturing screen 2. And now drops in and out but can't complain it's free. Free Wi-Fi that can sort of handle a stream. That's cool, that's impressive. Right. So now actually are Anantech gonna have any here we are. Tech power up. Good old tech power up. Razor says the Gen 2, while cool, 8 years of development for a few C and having to pay the new price. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's like it feels like it's going to be a fairly small bump, surely. So what have we got? Blah blah pioneers. Design not to impede components around the CPU socket. That's good because modern motherboards stick all kinds of stuff around there. But that, I mean, that's going to be a problem with a big air cooler basically these days. Is there's always going to be stuff in the way, isn't there? Whereas a water cooler, you just put the radiator somewhere else. Fin stacks are denser. Okay, so more surface area, yeah, but that does also mean more impedance for the airflow. So, still nickel plated copper. 8 6mm heat pipes. Was it only 6 for the previous gen? Is that right? Hang on. Huh. Oh, so it was. For some reason I thought it was 8. Okay. Next gen 140mm fans, yep. New thermal paste, and they've got a thermal paste spill guard now. Okay. The fans look very fiberglassy, don't they? So I guess we've got really tight tolerances around the edges here. And then we've got whatever material it is, it's really like heavily reinforced with fiberglass, and that probably means that like it can be trusted not to straighten out and start scraping the edge over time, and that lets you have a really tight tolerance at the edge, and that gets you more performance. And it's really, it's fiddling around the edges now. It's like you've got a very, very good design and you're just kind of fiddling around the edges of optimizing it. I feel like the shape of the fin stacks is different. Like, what's going on there? So I reckon, compared to the old one, it looks as if the heat pipes kind of bend a bit more and just go straight up a bit sooner. And I think this might be a 14, not a 15, mind you. But like, the heat pipes are now towards the centre fan, towards the centre of the whole thing. Rather than being just in the middle of the fins. Forks says, surprised they don't make a shroud. Yeah, no, I'm with you there. I feel like that would really help. But we've got these great big fin area just here that can't be doing anything, surely. But I mean, I guess they're the experts, right? So it's offset to deal with motherboards being what modern motherboards are like, fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure it is better. I'm interested in that fan. I mean, there's a very sharp bend in it. That's kind of interesting. That presumably is for a reason. It probably, I can imagine, because the air is going to be trying to like get spun out to the edges, isn't it, by the centrifugal effect? So it probably helps kind of keep it in the centre a little bit. Razor says, the one thing that bugs me is now that chiplet designs are becoming more common, even with the offset mount, direct die mount, even with plate, those 8 heat pipes won't be utilised. It was a problem on previous chips. Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like you've got these tiny offset dies, and yeah, a big contact plate. Like, where was it? Yeah, how big is? How big is the actual die going to be on that? I mean, it's AMD. You're going to have your I/O die there, and then you're going to have your 2 chiplets down there, something like that, aren't you? So the heat pipes, I mean, obviously you do have a bit of a heat spreader going on, and this is very rough, but it's kind of, optimistically you're getting good use out of maybe 3 heat pipes. Yeah, you're right. And that's a problem for the orientation of this cooler as well. Assuming that AMD still have the same layout. I'm not sure about, actually. Do they have the same layout? Hang on. What should I search this? Ryzen 7000 direct die. Okay, yeah. So they do have the same layout. So yeah, it would end up looking about like that. Forks says, wouldn't thermal density be higher with a monolithic design for the same power or performance? Yeah, I mean, it would be about the same, I think. The biggest thing is whether the heat source is offset, I think. We have a score. That's substantial. That has cut nearly 20 seconds off the time. That's impressive. So that's, what is that, 5:39. So that puts me ahead of Caveman the 1. That would be 11th place for the stage. That's pretty good. I'm pleased with that. So let's get that saved. Then I'll see if we can go any tighter, basically. So that's 539 point, what is it, 894? .894, yeah. Cool. So what's going to let us go faster? I could just try tightening all of the memory timings. That seems optimistic. I know I said I'm not an optimistic person, but let's see what happens. Because the thing is, if it just fails to post, then that's fine. And if it does post, that's great. It does look like it's posting. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, look at that. It's posted, hooray! Let's just double check we've got dual channel. Yeah, 1400 flat 6, that's pretty tight. As the kids say these days. They don't say that anymore, do they? I can never keep up. Well, in any case. So launch Y-Cruncher. Razor's saying, I think the radiator AIO shroud design like ASUS 4090 with a vapor chamber design is going to be more common in the future. Dell had an Alienware system with a radiator over the CPU that looked like an air cooler. I think that offset design is only going to make the most sense. Lapping on a recent square cold plate AIO with a larger fin density for modern chips. And as much as we are in a crossover period where companies are clawing previous product compatibility while saving cost, it's throwing performance away that you paid for that up to BS. Let's have a look for that Acer 4090 because that was an interesting one. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to be sitting at the moment. That's interesting. What was NiceGab's Y-Cruncher setup? Because that looks like... I mean, are those just hypers? Oh! GTX 3? Hang on, I've distracted myself now. Wait, what? So the system picture has 2 sticks, but this is 1866 CL7, which is a hyper bin, and it's doing hyper timings, and it's 8 gig, which implies that there's 4 sticks? What does Benchmate say? Hang on. Open image in new tab. Benchmate, 4 times 2 gig Corsair 1866 CL7. Okay, so it's just 4 sticks of hyper. Alright, fair enough. The system picture not as accurate as it could be, but there you are. To be fair, I've not taken a system picture yet. I probably should. Yeah, one thing at a time, eh? Right, yeah, we're going to talk about that. Let's look for Tech Power Up again. I don't think... Did Tech Power Up have a... Okay, they have a thread about it. That's cool. So, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, ASUS have done something like that in the past, haven't they? I think. What was it? Was it a 20... I want to say a 2080 Ti? Yes! Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Look at that. You've got like the tubes there and like a raised frame. Mind you, it's still smaller than most 4090s. So yeah, we have like a whole like basically a round water block like you would expect on a CPU water cooler, but then like it's the radiator's not the full length, it looks like. Strunken Cap says, is it that weird AIO-ish heatsink? Yeah, exactly, yeah. So yeah, giant cold plate. Yeah, nice bracing frame. Do they have a proper picture of the disassembled cooler? Not really, but it's just... I think you can kind of see the radiator goes like most of the length. But yeah, so ASUS did it first. Mind you, if you want to talk about AIO-ish heatsinks, let me see if I can find this one. So I have one of these. I considered using it for the stream, but basically I had enough stuff to set up as it was. So this is from 2007. Sigmatech made this all-in-one water cooler, and it's literally, you've got a fan in the middle. Okay, I've messed with the proportions there a bit, but so there's a fan sort of in the middle down there, and then you've got a radiator each side. I think it's an 80mm fan, but yeah, they're kind of fun. Works alright, I guess. Razor's saying EK now wants you to pay 250 quid for the updated water block. 250? What? I've not seen that. Are they seriously charging 250 quid? Where's just a CPU block? Hang on, there's separate listings for Intel and AMD as well? So hold on, these are 115X, so that's the older sockets. So there's LGA 1700. Oh, okay, it's not quite 250 quid, but it's not cheap. That's still a lot, and that's only one socket as well. Like, it's, I mean, for goodness sake, it's not difficult to make it compatible with multiple sockets. So then for AMD, I mean, is that... Oh, they have an IF Design Award. Yeah. So fun fact about the IF Design Awards, right? There is no I wrote up an article for a press release about one of these back when I was writing for Player.net. And the article that I wrote was kind of like very, very diplomatic about it. But IF Design Awards, the way that it works, they don't have a limit on how many awards they can give out, and in order to get the award, you have to pay, I think it's a few thousand euros for a winner's package. Let me see if I can... This might not be very easy to find, but you know what? Tell you what, this will help, right? So, okay, some of that's actually not necessarily that suitable for Twitch, but like these are all award winners, right? Which, what? Let's not. Okay, we'll not get into that. So like these two different ice bars both got awards, for example. We have like different brands of fridge that all got awards, so that they will give out awards to, you know, anything and everything that they think counts, like multiple TV remote controls. Like this is an award winner, so remote control with a solar panel. I mean, that's cool, I guess, but like, but when I looked into it, basically, they have this. Oh no! Why Cruncher? Spot check, good through 1 billion. Oops, Y Cruncher has crashed. That's depressing. I feel like I should just rerun. Yeah, I'm going to rerun and I'll go back to ranting about IF Design Awards. So IF Design Awards, the way that it works is that I don't know where I found this previously, but there is like a multi-thousand-euro winners package thing that you're obliged to buy in order to actually win the award, which involves sending the marketing people to a holiday in Berlin. Benefits, maybe. It's always funny when you have like something that's a little bit of a grift, and it's like, yes, we give you very fancy certificates. Yeah, it proves how, you know, how legitimate and official we are that we've put our certificate on brushed aluminium, or aluminum as the case may be. Right, so they have a networking event. But where was the actual thing? So this is all like, this is their pitch to marketing people for why you should submit for an IF Design Award. So it's, you know, stuff like, this is okay, you know, it's fine. Like, they'll help you write a press release and stuff. General terms, hang on. Yeah, I might not be able to find it just looking at it now. I mean, the fact that like they charge fees for like entering, I mean that's not in itself. I mean, yeah, but like, of course they do. Be weird if they didn't, but. I'm going to give it one last shot. So this, here we go. Right, yes. So this is their marketing. This is IF Design Foundation, or whatever they're called. This is their marketing to companies. So we've got, you know, how they'll be judged, you know, who's entered and stuff. And here we have the fees. So we've got, you know, your registration fee to enter and to get feedback. Jury fee and all of that. There is a massive winner's fee, right? So depending on the discipline, it's 1,800 or 2,700 euros that you have to pay to win, right? And that gets you, like, you know, your brushed aluminum certificate and stuff, and all of the PR of saying we won an IF Design Award. So if you see a press release for like a computer case or something that's like, this case has won an IF Design Award, or a motherboard, what that means is, yes, a jury has evaluated it. I'm not saying, you know, it's not completely fake. A jury has evaluated it and has found it worthy, in the same way that with, like, I don't know, Guinness World Records, right? Like, someone has done a thing. But also, what it also means is that the company has paid IF 1,800 euros right? And it's important to bear that in mind when you see that, you know, I think ASUS and Gigabyte enter these, like probably all of the brands do, to be fair. But it's important to bear that in mind when you see like that something has won an IF Design Award. That yes, it means that a jury has evaluated it and they have won. I think when I looked into it, it was like less than half of entrants end up winning an award, but it's quite a lot, right? It's like about a third, if I recall correctly. But yes, it does also mean that that company is paid €1,800, right? And what they've got, to be fair, in exchange for that is the marketing people who are involved in this whole thing. They have got tickets for the IF Design Award night. And isn't that just wonderful? So it's, to some extent, it's kind of a scam to get... No, not legally a scam, I hasten to add. But to some extent, it's like you've got marketing people who are spending their marketing budget on this, and they're getting a free holiday out of it. So that's interesting. It's, you know... Lots of like it all comes back around, you know. But yes, so if we look up ASUS, for example, so that's $1,800. That euros, €1,800, €1,800. So how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, hello. Show all, yes. So it's just ASUS stuff. 286 projects up there. Now my calculator is broken on this OS. If we do 286 times... So ASUS have paid IF €500,000 overall. I mean, to be fair, there may have been inflation, so that some of these older ones might have been less. So let's just look at the current year. 26 projects at current year. So ASUS have paid nearly €50,000 to IF this year for all of these awards for all of their various phones and what have you. I just wanted to get that off my chest, really. A bit of a tangent, but yeah, hopefully you'll find that interesting. It's interesting, that stuff. So sorry, Razors, I've been completely ignoring what you said. EK quantum magnitude was 249 when J2 Sense reviewed it. They were going on about tension and flex, which is why they only have it for one socket. I see. Well, but I mean, it looks pretty similar. It looks to me like all they've changed is the bracket. Right, that's what got me started on the IF Design Awards. Okay, so to be fair, it does look like the block itself has a bit of a different design. But yeah, I mean, that still sucks. Remember those cheap copper ones with the plate you slid on with loads of holes? Yeah, you can get like different jet plates. That ought to work. I believe they've already slashed prices because of the backlash they received. Yep, and fair enough, yeah. It's going to cost you a mid-range system just for a custom loop now. Yeah, oh, that's a really interesting point, yeah. Kits. Yeah, okay, so that's an EK custom loop kit. It's €458. So that's 400 quid. Oh, we have a score, we have a score, we have a score. 537 seconds. Okay. So that's only another 2 seconds that I've shaved off there. That's slightly disappointing, actually. Where does that put me in the competition? That doesn't make a difference. Okay. I think we've got about as far as we're going to get with optimizing the memory. So I'll run the other benchmarks next. And then I'll have 3 scores, which will be nice. We'll have our scores for everything. Motherboard, memory, CPU, save. So I guess Superpine next. Now let me double check Matt's rules. Okay, so I am allowed real-time priority. Good. So run Superpie and no, I'll just get rid of the text for now. Razor's saying it's one CNC design rather than multiple pieces, larger fin stack, O-rings to stop fluid bleed. That does provide improvement, but for most people the jump from a stock cooler to a large heatsink or AAO, cheap custom loop, already 20 to 30C off to pay double that for a few more degrees. Yeah, I mean it's... I know what you mean, it's like that... They should be making budget options. Oh hey, Rage! You know, I bought a Crosshair 4 formula for this competition and haven't really given it a good chance. I should. Yeah, yeah, give it a go. The Crosshair 4 should be a better board for this stuff, to be honest. The reason I'm using the 5 Formula Z, it's not like known for being good on AM3 stuff. It's known for being good for FX. But it's got T topology memory, right? Now, something that you might notice. I'm using 2 RAM sticks. I am in no way taking advantage of the T topology on this motherboard. So, yeah, I might as well be using a different board. Really curious how different ICs affect base clock. Lots is the answer. Doesn't really make a whole lot of sense to me why it matters so much. Honestly, I don't get it either. I think even PCB seems to matter a bit, to be honest. I've been through a lot of different RAM. That was kind of the first hour and a half, maybe, of the stream. Was just going through different RAM. I've settled on this Ballistix 2GB M at the moment. It makes a huge difference, though. I mean, some stuff couldn't even do 330, some stuff was doing 350 or more base clock. Could be a PCB thing. I should try my 8-layer hypers and see how that goes. Yeah, that'd be interesting. My hypers are actually on an 8-layer PCB as well, funnily enough. So maybe I should give them a go. I'm not sure if they would work, though. I've not tried them on this board, and I think board matters as well. But when I've tried my hypers in the past for AM3 base clock, I've not had a huge amount of luck. So, yeah. Well, while SuperPi runs, so that basic high-end water cooling kit is basically 400 quid. I'm interested what 400 quid will buy. I'm going to use Scan because a friend of mine works there. So let's see what we can get. I think you want to go Old Lake, don't you, or Raptor Lake. So we've got 12100F is 90 quid. Is there a Raptor Lake that's more expensive? Okay. We could consider the Pentium's the same price. Okay. So 12100F is 90 quid. So motherboard. I mean, you want a really basic board, don't you? For a value build. So yeah, I mean that would do. So RAM, DDR4. It's only HX620, so it doesn't have to be anything special. You probably do want 2x8 gig. So that's 40 quid on the RAM. Okay. So now cases and power supplies. Let's do a proper we'll do a case with a separate power supply. I mean, it's not going to be a very good case, but whatever. Power supplies. Corsair CV series, that's probably fine. I think Corsair are generally fine. You know what? That is that only leaves us £100 for. We've not done storage yet. Hang on. What's the cheapest GPU that's going to be viable? It's 6400 or something. 120 for that. I don't think there's. Nvidia don't have anything. No. Okay, so that's too much. Where can we trim a little bit? Let's revisit case and power supply. And RAM, actually. Is there anything? Scan's interface is not very good for picking RAM. Well, that's slightly cheaper. That's probably... Is that going to work out cheaper? I think it is, yeah. Only very slightly. So it's about 38 quid. Is there anything less than that? I could have sworn DDR4 was not that expensive. Well, okay, anyway. Storage. I mean, you can get some astonishingly cheap storage now. That is insane. So, okay, that's got RAM, CPU, motherboard, storage, GPU. Just need case and power supply. I mean, that's a really low power. You know, a built-in PSU is not going to be good, but it's not like the GPU needs it to be good. So, I mean, yeah, that's a build. That's, you know, not bad either. It'd probably be a fairly decent build. You know, 12100F, 6400. I mean, that'll play some games, and that costs less than a water cooling kit. Yeah, I mean, fair enough. Razor says this 8800 GT has coil whine that sounds like an exotic bug. Definitely going to be the second GPU, so it's under a lighter load. Is it going to whine more or less under a lighter load? I've seen some different results with that. Anyway, while we're here, what other news is there from Computex while SuperPi runs? 'Cause we're on loop 10. So it's going alright. I mean, what have we got here? Razer redefines fighting game experience with Kitsune? Okay. Is that like a controller? Optical arcade controller for PS5 and PC. Razer says seems to happen at 80% power load, so we'll see. SLI bridge cable has gone walkies. Ah dear. I've got loads of those knocking around. Not that that really helps, unless you fancy popping up to Lancaster to pick one up. Anyway, I don't know enough about fighting games, or well, I don't know anything. Ah! That's interesting. So Gigabyte fortifies system security with latest BIOS updates and enhanced verification. So this is something that I saw something about earlier today. Is Gigabyte have an ASUS Armory Crate style thing where it's like the BIOS makes Windows go and load stuff. Like it sends Windows to the internet to download software, and that's just not nice just in general, really. So yeah, some security company came out and said this is happening, it's a security issue, you're not even using HTTPS, what are you doing? So I guess now they're digitally signing everything, and they are using HTTPS, and they've implemented it properly now, which is good. You want that? I just realised I could be using my camera space better. Yeah. But yeah, so Gigabyte are putting that fire out pretty promptly. It's good to see. Ah, more Hynix stuff. I saw something about there being Essen Core branded ICs that used like an old style, like old Hynix style marking, but I think those are just Hynix branded. That's pretty restrained for a Gen 5 SSD these days. Most of them are a bit bigger. That's a bit dirty. What's going on there? You're showing that off at Computex, and you've got all scratches on it. Loop 15. Gigabyte Gigabyte G.Skill DDR5 8800 24 gig DIMMs. I imagine that's about what Sebi's playing with at the minute. That's been interesting actually. I was careful that I wasn't going to be streaming against this. So the G.Skill OC World Cup. So I don't know how many people are through to the final. Rage says I don't have the patience for DDR5 yet. Yeah, I've not tried it, but I understand it's a bit of a pain. Just like, it sounds like it's not as bad on AMD because it just like takes 10 minutes to post, but then like it's sort of either stable or not. But on Intel it sounds like it's a total nightmare stability wise. And also really inconsistent, and I do not like inconsistency. Inconsistency is awful. Plus it's really expensive. But yeah, it looks like Discord's own Sebi's done really well there. very active in the hardware bot Discord. Ralph seems to have just pipped him. That is a brilliant frequency. Ooh. Not so good in X265 there. Very, very tight in Y-Cruncher. And just behind in SuperPi as well. That's really close. Look at that. I mean, that if that was the other way around, it would be 4 points difference. So that actually would have put Sebi ahead. So it's literally 4 milliseconds between Ralph and Sebi, effectively. That's really tight. Rage says, Apex, it's easy, anything else requires actual skill. I gather the Apex requires a bit of luck. From what I've heard, anyway. You have to actually get a board that's any good. And that's not guaranteed. Which is another reason why it's just like, I don't want any part of that. I don't want, like... I don't want to be playing with memory where it's like, maybe the board's any good, maybe it's not. Who knows? Yeah. What's this iceberg thermal stuff that I skipped? Rage says, I had no problem using the Z690 Apex cold and on air for 8000 dual channel when the outer channel decided to work. Lucky you then, you must have got a good one. Hey, Exaberries, the final is today. They're doing Y-Cruncher, 32M and 3D Mark 11 with the current sticks. Then after that, IDA and frequency with 24 gig sticks. Okay. So that's that stage. So you say today, it's... I mean, presumably it's the middle of the night in Taiwan at the moment, so it's going to be like 12 hours from now or something. Right, yeah, I see. So we've got 16 gig sticks for Y-Cruncher, 3D Mark 11 and SuperPi. And then 24 gig sticks for IDA and frequency, yeah. That'll be really interesting then. A bit of a baptism of fire, because I imagine none of them are that familiar with the 24 gig stuff. I look forward to seeing how that plays out. But yeah, maybe they've got some of those then. Those actually look alright. I saw some other like new Trident Z Royal Elite design or something that looked awful, but yeah, those look nice. Their sticks were binned by Hero No Heat Spreaders, yeah, fair enough. Hey Glenn! Yeah, it has been a while. Looks like we're actually pretty close to SuperPi finishing. That has also been a while. SuperPi has been a while. How bad is that? Like... So, other people's SuperPi scores... because it... Yeah, I mean, I'm going on for like 18 minutes maybe, which would be... 1100 seconds or so. Where were we? Okay, yeah, that's not bad. So I'm going to be maybe top 10. Exaberries, mine is way down there on FX 4200. Oh wow, 4200 should be pretty good. But I guess it's just having the right mem, isn't it? Oh, you did get 330. Yeah, maybe your mem could go tighter than that. That might help. Maybe CPU Northbridge? My board walled on base clock right above. Yeah, that's 330-ish is about where the wall tends to be. I think I'm running a bit more than that. But yeah, like with any old memory, typically your base clock wall is going to be there. Some stuff is even lower, but like 330 or so is about where you would normally hit the wall, yeah. I've tried Hynix, PSC, BD, BG. Yeah, Micron. Generally, Micron and Nanya are your best bets. I'm using Micron at the minute. Ballistix Elites specifically. Some of the more recent Micron doesn't work so well. Like the 4 gigabit Rev.N, which lends credence to my theory that it's actually built on an Elpida process. But yeah, the capacity is not enough for Y-Cruncher, but what I've had really good luck on is... where's the camera? So, this stuff, 2 gigabyte per stick, 1 gigabit Nanya C. It has to be this specific part number with the, what is it, HC9N? The HA9N stuff is 1 gigabit Nanya A, which is shit. So, I should have an example of that if I comparison. Right. So yes, get ready to take a screenshot or something. But yeah. So the top one here with the sticker, HA9N, that's crap. The bottom one, HC9N, that's good. That's pretty good for AM3 base clock and does decent timings. And SuperPie's done. Less than 20 minutes, I'll take that. So yeah, just for interest, I'll pop my SPD tab up there, so you can see the RAM that I'm running at the minute. Pardon me. Yeah, it also does pretty decent timings, all things considered. And the part number I've got is like 16 FMR or something. FX 4200 is already way ahead for Y-Cruncher, so not super worried about that. Yeah, but you know, there's always room. Always room to be better. Okay. So, what was the other benchmark? Cinebench R15, no real time or high priority. Bit of an arbitrary rule, that one, but alright. Windows 8, I don't think so, mate. Am I going to be alright in terms of the screenshot? Am I going to be able to fit the whole render in? Is that needed? I'm going to have to check that. The rule is because of people cheating with real time in R15 for the G.Skill qualifier. They had Cinebench in a RAM competition qualifier. Yeah. That's unfortunate though. So what, were they bugging it out or something? Just gonna check. Ah yeah, benchmark window rendered scene and benchmate score with benchmate. But not full rendered scene. It doesn't say full rendered scene in the rules. So yeah. So I've not really been paying attention. What happened in the OC World Cup qualifiers then with the Cinebench stage? Other than like being a crap show. I mean, I guess I've kind of got the answer. Like a bunch of people cheated. I didn't know it was possible to bug out Cinebench like that, though. Are there forum threads about this? We have our score. 359. How does that stack up? Not well. It puts us 11th. There's someone with 358 and there's someone with 360. Okay. I'm going to rerun that. Hang on, if I do the whole like dragging it off screen thing, that should give a bit of a performance boost. Xberry says it was in the G.Skill qualifiers thread. Best bet is to kill Explorer and do off-screen render. Yeah, I suppose I can't be bothered to kill Explorer. I'm searching for Cinebench. Hang on, in. Is there a thread for it? In competitions. I'm a bit reticent to put Discord on stream. Probably better not to. I can't find anything easily, but doesn't mean it's not there. Just means I've not been keeping up with it. Yes. Unfortunate. Why would you have Cinebench anyway? Who uses Cinebench as a memory bench? We did this. We've been through this before. I remember because there was the Corsair competition. I remember that. Oh, hello! I've got a score. 361. Hey! That gets me number 10. Sweet. So I guess the next thing to do is see if I can push clocks, basically. Oh, whoops. Hang on. I think it should just overwrite my previous saved result if I do that again. Let's hope it did. I think the SATA controller on my Crosshair 4 formula is dead or something. It no longer wants to boot at all to anything. That's not a good sign. I need to try like clearing CMOS and everything, all of that. Make sure that, like, you know, you're not trying to boot to like a UEFI thing that it might not support, I guess. IDE mode and all of that. Do you have a CD, like a CD drive? Might be worth a go. Anyway, I'm going to turn this off, and I guess let's try 4 sticks of D9JN. That sounds like fun, doesn't it? There's not going to be enough capacity for Y Cruncher, but you never know, it might get me somewhere in SuperPi. Come on. Drain your capacitors. There we are. Hold up time on this power supply is a lot. So yeah, for anyone interested, these are the memory sticks that I was using that got me to 350. 16 FMR IC code. So there they are. If anyone missed that, give me a shout. Well, if anyone missed it who wanted to see it. If you missed it but you weren't interested, that's fine. So we're switching to these, which are actually 1 gig a stick, even if they do say 2 gig on them. They're also bright blue, which means that they are razor's bait. Yes, let's give them a go. Give them a pop. See if they post just the same settings for starters, because they kind of need to do that. Well, they have posted, but they might be posting to a screen that's like, you know, you've installed new memory. Oh, no, no. Right, I'll get these running and then I'll look at chat. So yep, that has posted 350. We're doing 1400 flat 6. We should be able to do 655 on these easily. But one thing at a time. I want to see if I can get more base clock out of it first. This is going pretty well. I've got another 3 courses of an hour or so until my wife finishes work, which is sort of the kind of target that I have in my head, but I might keep going depending on, you know, how everything is going. So let's try 360. Yeah, that's posting. I don't know if I've hit BIOS or not there, I wasn't very aggressive about it, but if we've ended up in OS, I'm calling that fate, and I'm going to make sure that we're in dual channel and everything. Oh, no, nope, single channel. Oh, that's no good. Rage says his SSD died. Well, that's unfortunate, but I suppose it's better than the board having a problem. Okay, so single channel at 360. Let's try 355, I guess. See if that gives us dual channel. Expo is saying, Rage, is there anything that doesn't die when you use it? I will say, Rage, if it makes you feel any better, Yossarian had exactly the same kind of experience. So really it's just, you know, you're just the new Yossarian, which I'm fairly sure is a good thing. That's still single channel. Nah. Oh well. I'm going to drop back to 350 or something. Hopefully that gives me my channel back. I could try more memory voltage, but my experience of like ASUS boards and AM3 is that more memory voltage gives you less channels, not more. Come on. Let's make it 350, not 250. 250 would be a bit pessimistic even for me. Single channel might be 5 Cinebench if you get enough extra core. That's true, that's true. Just run 2.5. The issue, aside from like not wanting to damage the sticks, is I don't know if the board would scale. It might be that the higher voltage makes it behave less well. Ah, still single channel. What? Why? What use do you have for my channel? Give it back. I think you're right, Exaberries. I think probably drop way down and then come back to try and get the channel back. Because I have seen that before. Like it's a bit of a dick about giving you your channel back. Why am I going straight into BIOS? I don't know if it picked the channel up or not. I think I might have missed BIOS anyway, so that's fine. Or the board has missed posting, which is also fine. The power cycle might help. Rage says, I don't know why everything but Hypers die in storage for me. Yeah, your experiences with hardware in general are just bizarro world. Like, you've LN2'd the heat sinks off of like epoxied Corsair successfully, and then you try it on some Ballistix DDR2 and it rips the ICs off. I mean, it's not supposed to be that way round. Yes, dual channel. Good. And it's stuck on 66 again. What is the... Oh, that has given me BIOS. Okay, good. Good. I was worried. Just nudge up a little bit now. How am I doing on disk space? Oh, I'm fine, I've got loads. Good. And still dual channel. Good, good, good. Come on. I remember a while back I tried to do an AM3 base clock stream, but I ended up like I was trying to like test for the settings that stuff could run at the same time, and I ended up spending like an hour swapping between this stuff and some Corsair stuff with the same ICs, and discovering that the Elixir stuff was actually faster at the same settings, like consistently and repeatably. I still don't know why. I can only assume like the SPD was setting something tighter, or maybe it was like a better PCB, so it was like training some kind of RTL or something different. It was weird. Razor saying, don't think this Sabertooth likes SLI, can't seem to get both GPUs picked up. It's unfortunate. They're old GPUs, maybe it's a driver thing? I mean, does GPUs detect them both as existing in the system? Because it might be that the drivers are old enough that they don't like recognise the Sabertooth as a board that can do SLI, perhaps? Okay, please be dual channel, please. Ah! Bah! Bah, I say. Rage saying I can only get 340 base clock to boot. I try different RAM and keep trying different RAM forever and ever. You know what? I'm going to try Cinebench at 360. Screw it. Now let's just do the whole single channel thing. See what happens. You never know, I might beat Matt. Not Matt as in tech tested, Matt as in Matt 26 LFC. Although, where's tech tested score for Cinebench? Oh, he's way behind. I guess it favours the Phenoms. Maybe BBSC is the answer. No, BBSC is never the answer. Oh god, I hadn't even thought about using a combination of RAM sticks. I don't even want to get into that. The worst part is it might work. I am not here for it working. Yeah, I really hope it, like, no offense, but I really hope it doesn't work. Well, Cinebench is running. That's a quick benchmark. Probably not worth like flipping over to the web browser or anything. The BBSC won't even post. Hooray! The natural order is restored. BBSC is still cursed. Shocking. Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised. Razor saying all I can think of is maybe the stripped OS has something to do with it. I mean, it's worth a go. You might as well try a different OS. This is kind of cool. So it's an SFX power supply, which is like the smaller one, but they've just got like a Noctua fan on it on the outside. That's kind of neat though. Oh, right, and the way that they're doing, so okay, so it's 12 volt only, but it comes with an adapter. So there's the adapter in the corner there for 12 volt only to normal ATX. That's cool. And then the cables are plugged in at an angle there so that they're like easier to work with as well. I like that. That looks good. Neat. Anyway, we have a Cinebench score, and it's okay. Well, it's 361, but it's 361 rendered on screen, so I guess I think missing the channel is not helping. Oh, it's Rage's system just stopped posting at all. Oh, great. Good start. Sorry to hear about that. Yeah, I have embarrassingly little experience with multi-GPU, especially with SLI, to be honest. It's something I'm kind of interested to do more of at some point. But, yeah. I don't know. I think realistically, my plans for future streams, because I still need to get rid of most of my OC stuff, right? Because at the end of the day, like, you know, streaming does not make money. You know, ad breaks or no ad breaks, it's not like this is not a money maker. This is a money sink. Whereas my wife has been doing really well on her career and has got a good, like, you know, got a foot on the ladder at a job in a hospital in Stockport, near Manchester, which is great. But it's a hell of a commute. We're going to have to move. We're not going to have as much space there as we do here. So the model for future streams is basically going to be, there's probably going to be a lot of streams where I'm doing all of the benching that I can on something in order to get rid of it effectively. 363. That is a slightly improved score. Cool. Oh, apparently it like dropped not just like some of the channels, it dropped like all but one of the sticks. It's interesting. I mean, if it works, it works, but that might have hurt the Cinebench performance. Wow, yeah, okay. Yeah, that would have been good for Cinebench. Like, it will run on 1 gig, but it does not run well on 1 gig, no way. Maybe killing Explorer would have been a good idea. Okay, I think what I'll try next is more VDIM, I guess, at what was it, 360 or 350, and I'll see if I can get more channels. I'm not really expecting VDIM to help with the channels, but you know, you can only try what you can try. I should be taking system pictures. I'm going to take a system picture now with the cell shock RAM in there. Oh, let's make it a couple of system pictures while I'm at it. Right. Now, does that have more channels? No. Still single channel. How single channel is it? Well, at least it's got 2 gigs rather than 1. That's helpful, I guess. Does that mean there's a possibility I get dual channel but 3 gigs? I suppose so, right? Okay. Oh no, I've got a low res BIOS. Wonderful. Let's try 340. See if that gives me dual channel. If I don't have any luck with this, I think I'll switch back to the 16 FMR Ballistix Elites, and I'll just see if I can tighten the timings a bit more, and that will be the big finish. Okay, that's dual channel, right. That's all 4 gigs. Cool. So that's dual channel. Let's see where it drops the channel. Rage says BBSE plus Hyper has been the best combo yet. Dear God. That's concerning. I would be worried about running Hypers and worried about running BBSC. They're both pains in the ass in different ways. Both of them seems bad. Is this like the Civilization thing, where it's like, you know, the thing rolls over and Gandhi starts nuking everyone? Like, the combination is too cursed, so it just rolls over and behaves well. You found like an IRL integer overflow exploit. Oh. So even 345 it loses the channel. Right. I'll try 2 volts. I'll see if 2 volts gives the channel back at 345, and I'll see as well how it is at 340. The slight problem is higher base clock needs lower VDIM. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things I was wondering about, yeah. Is this going to make it better or worse? Although I've definitely seen the opposite. I've definitely seen base clocks scaling positively with VDIM on Nanya. So it's got to vary, right? I don't know. Still single channel. Okay. I did expect that. I'm actually getting a bit sleepy now. It's 3.5 hours in. Right, 340. Does 340 still have dual channel even at 2 volts? Not that it matters. Like, if 340 does still have dual channel at 2 volts, it's still 10 base clock lower than I can get on other RAM. So it's still going to be a no, but it will be interesting. I am interested. It does still have dual channel. Okay. So what that tells me is that lowering the voltage is very unlikely to give me dual channel at higher base clock. Because raising voltage on the memory hasn't taken away dual channel at the lower base clock. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to drop the voltage back down to 1.8, save that and reset, and I'll swap back to the other RAM. See if I can get it into BIOS rather than getting into OS. There we are. Kill the power. Wait for the LEDs to go out. There we go. So I'll swap back to the RAM that was working at 350 base clock, and I'll just see if we can get slightly improved scores. So back to this stuff. I suppose I could try more Samsung D-Die, 1 gigabit D-Die. Probably don't have time really. See if I can maybe eke out a couple more base clock as well on this stuff. So go for 3.5. I tried 3.55 on it actually. We'll try 6.55 is optimistic. I don't think it's likely to work, but we'll give it a go because there's no harm in giving it a go. It looks like it's posting at least. That's posted. Passed the old power on self-test. Hey! First blue screen! 3.5 hours and I finally had a blue screen. It's about time. Okay, that's probably TRCD. Just knowing this RAM. That's the timing I was being most optimistic on. Hey Shimzu, usually takes me 10 minutes. Yeah, I know. I am amazed. I've gone 3.5 hours without. You know what? Hang on. There. Okay, that was almost certainly TRCD. Just because I know that was like, I was being very aggressive on that for what I expect this RAM to be able to do. So fingers crossed this works now. If it doesn't work, I look silly. Well, we still have dual channel. We're at 355. We have TRP of 5. I think we are set up to make some better scores. Let's start with Y Cruncher, I guess. And oh, wait, what? Oh, it crashed already? Damn. Okay. I'm gonna give that. Oh, hey! Come on, come on, come on, post. I guess since dual channel was working, let's just give that a go. Exaberries asks, how important has Northbridge voltage been for you? My board maxes at 1.25. I have no idea on this board. So on my MSI 870 chipset board, Northbridge voltage is linked to HT voltage. Now, raising both of those helps, but I could not tell you which of them it is that matters. But base clock does seem to scale with both of them together. Okay, and that was another B-sod. That's interesting. But yeah, Northbridge voltage alone, I don't know, it might be like the HT voltage or something. Whatever that actually means. You know, if I'm getting B-sods now, I suppose I could try even looser memory settings. Like maybe I just like hit the point where CL is unhappy or something. Oh, come on. The other thing that I could try is I could try more V-core maybe. How has something died on you already, Rage? Like, is this like a static thing? Are you overclocking on carpet? No, don't prepare automatic repair. Please don't. That's not going to help anything. Oh boy. Well, we have the capture card issues. This does somewhat limit what I can do. Oh, good lord. Okay. Let's try that. I feel like this is frozen. It should be loading Windows by now. Okay, well that's good. It's not the mem. That's just giving me double F. Let the power drain properly. Right. I'm gonna max the fan speed. And V-core. More of that. And pop the memory timings back down because I don't think it was the memory timings. And fingers crossed. Failing to save and exit is not a great sign, I will grant you. I'll probably just jump into BIOS and double check that that even applied. If it posts. That wonderful type of instability where it's too unstable to work with. Aha! We have an OC fail screen. Okay, good. So let's try and do. Okay, so it didn't get our settings. That's nice to know, I guess. Right, so more V-core, full fan speed, settings back down. Hey Kev! Yeah, only just got home 30 minutes ago. Did you miss anything? Most of the stream? Spent the first hour or so trying a load of different memory kits. I've settled on some Ballistix Elites with 2 gigabit Micron M, 16 FMR IC code. And yeah, I've been bashing my head against 350 base clock most of the time. In between that, I've run some benchmarks. Good question, Rage. How did your CPU die? Also, why is it C7ing on me now? I wasn't doing C7 before. Don't be like that. Ugh. Maybe it needs to like train up into it. I should try 350 again. You've lost your only Phenom X4. That's unfortunate. Refuser to turn on even with your 890 FX MSI board. That's That's a bit of a bugger, isn't it? Yeah, I've not seen AM3 CPUs just like randomly die. What voltages were you running? Hey Alex, how's it going? It's going about it's going 350 base clock and not much more. I'm trying to do 355 right now. As you can see, it's not going well. I mean, look at that, it's frozen. 1.375 Northbridge might be a bit high. 1.45 V-Core is not. I have no idea about VDIM. I would have assumed that since it supports DDR2 it should be able to take that kind of VDIM. Okay. I just wanted one more run before I have to finish the stream off. It's always the one more run. Every time. And now it's at that wonderful level of instability where it freezes before it takes you into the fucking BIOS. I'm going to try and force it into OC recovery. Exa says I keep on getting errors in Y-Cruncher after it completes the calculation. Yes, that happened to me once this stream. First time I've seen it, actually. I just reran and it passed. Razor says, just noticed you've bought that real fancy CNC bench. Yeah, the open bench table. I've had it for a while. It is like... it's better than a box because like it gives you somewhere to put the power supply. Kif says don't forget to put a Euro Millions ticket on for tomorrow. 103 million. I thought you meant like because of luck that I've had on stream, and I was like, what are you on about? Yeah. Here's the question though, what are your odds of winning that and how much does a ticket cost? Do I even have dual channel? I have dual channel! I have dual channel, I have slightly higher base clock, I have TRP5. Let's go, come on, new Y-Cruncher PB, incoming, let's do it. Right, well that's going to take a while, to be honest. It's Y-Cruncher, it's going to be like 9 minutes on this setup. So, Yeah, you know what? Let's look into this Euro Millions stuff. Why not? Is gambling stuff okay for Twitch? I'm not even sure. Rage, if you're getting another CPU, oh, nah. You know what? It has been about 4 hours. I think it's probably time to call it based on that. I don't think I'm going to get an improved score. I wanted to finish around this kind of time, so yeah, I might... Let's turn that off before it messes itself up. Yeah, not next week, but I will probably do more streams at some point. I have a Discord where I talk about my stream plans and like I'll ping you when I'm going to stream, so if you like the idea of being pinged about that, join the Discord. But other than that, I think on that it's, you know, coming up to 7 o'clock, it's coming up to 4 hours. I'm not going to get another run in, so I'm going to finish off there. But yeah, thank you for watching, and yeah, it's goodbye, I guess. A bit abrupt, so it can be a bit longer for those of you who have only just got in from work and everything. But yeah, I think that's where we are, and yeah, I'll see you in a couple of weeks maybe, because next week is going to be pretty busy for me. I have to take my wife to Manchester for her to hand over some documents for her new job, and then I'm hoping to go and see my granddad down south, which is a long trip. I'll need all my energy for that. But yeah, hopefully week after I might be able to organise something, might be able to sort something out, because this has been alright, this has been good. And yeah, see you then. Bye.